Welcome students. Today we are going to discuss the last topic of this chapter, that is components of planning. Let's see which are the components of planning. The first one is objectives, then strategy, policy, procedures, method, rules, program, and last is budget. So one by one we'll be discussing in detail. The first element is objectives. So when I am saying my company should attain 10% increase in sales, or profit would be increased by 20%, or cost should be reduced by 2%, what I am doing is I am giving an objective. I am making this nothing but the desired future position which the management would like to reach. So when we are saying all these things, this is what we are conveying, that where we want to reach as an organization. It is an end which management seeks to achieve. So when I am saying that there would be 20% increase in profit, this is what something which management is planning to achieve. Now it is expressed always in specific terms. So far, whatever example I gave you, these are all specific terms. They are quantifiable. So remember, the objectives are nothing but the desired position which the company wants to achieve, and they are always specific. They are always in specific terms. The next comes strategy. Now, what is that? It helps to define the scope and direction of the organization in long run. So when I am saying that my objective plan is to increase the sale by, let's say, 10%, I would make a strategy to ensure that I would achieve that objective. So it determines a long term objective and helps to achieve the long term objective. Now what here in strategy we do, we decide particular course of action which needs to be taken so that the objective which has been set can be achieved. What other thing we do in strategy is that we allocate resources which are necessary to achieve the objectives. New few major strategies decisions which are made are whether to change the course of business or not, whether to acquire the company or not, what kind of merger would be suitable for us. So these all would be the major plans. If the company says that they want to increase sales by 10%, so the strategy is made that how that can be achieved. Would it be going to a different geography? Would it be acquiring new customers? All these included in strategy. The next one is policy. Now policies are nothing but the general statement which are being given in the organization. They provide basis for the interpreting the strategy which usually stated in general terms. So whenever strategy is stated by the management, then we would have policies which can help the employee to understand how to work. For example, you have a recruitment policy. Now what is recruitment policy? Let's say company A has a policy that only the chartered accountant would be hired at the level of consultant. So they have a position which is called as consultant. That is nothing but the recruitment policy of a company. Secondly, let's take an example. You have a production policy. So policy is that the raw material should have only 2% defect. So any deviation from this policy has to be corrected, or raw material has to be rejected in that scenario. So policies are nothing but the general statements. Now remember, major companies policies are the known to all. The moment the employee get recruited in the company, he would be made aware about the policies of the company. Most of the companies, what they do, the moment you get your appointment letter, they will send you the follow up mails wherein they would list down the policies of the company. Minor policies are those policies which are available to insiders. They contain minute details of information which is vital for the employees of the organization. When I say if the order is above rupees 40,000, then the manager needs to get involved. Now, this is the policy of a company. Now, I am saying company's policy is that you should all come in formal dress. So, that is a policy which is inside, and it is a minor policy and it is available only to insiders. It concerned with the employees of the organization. So this is what policies is all about. Next comes the procedure. These are routine steps on how to carry out the activity should be performed. What is the procedure to perform a particular activity? For example, if I am saying that to obtain the permission to buy equipments which is more than 1 lakh, I need to follow a certain procedure. That is, I need to obtain approval from my own reporting manager, then I need to obtain the approval of CFO. So this is the procedure which is to be told to me as an employee. So this is nothing but the specified steps which are to be followed in a particular circumstances. Now these are only followed by insiders, that is the employees of the organization. Let's move to the next one, that is method. Now, what is method? These are prescribed way or manner in which a task has to be performed, considering the objectives. So, once the objectives are set, method would be the ways and manner which needs to be performed to achieve that particular objective. Now, remember methods are nothing but formalized and standardized way to accomplish repetitive routine job. Let's say if you have to run machine every day, so there would be a SOP which would be lying for you, wherein you can understand that this is the way or this is the method to use that machine, and this is how things have to be done when it comes to that machine. Next is rules. These are specific statements that are informed to the employees that what needs to be done, what cannot be accepted. It doesn't have to compromise on anything and it doesn't have to change unless the policy decision is taken. As I give you an example that if the customer his order is worth rupees 40,000, the policy is to take a approval from the manager. Now if the rule is that only the manager can deal with such kind of customer, then remember nobody can deviate from that. The moment the customer says my order is more than 40,000 rupees, immediately he would be passed on to the manager so that sales can take place. So that is rule. So rules cannot be bended, and in case if you are unable to follow the rules or you fail to follow the rules as an employee, then you would be subject to punitive action. Next comes program. What is program? These are detailed statement about the project. What do? They outline the objectives, policies, procedure, rules which need to be followed, the tasks which are required to be done, the resources, both human and physical resources which would be required, and the budget which is required to implement any course of action. So, this is what program is all about. See, there is always a concrete plan. So, this is considered to be a concrete plan as to who, when, and how work is to be done to achieve the certain objective. The last one is budget. Now, budget is nothing but a statement wherein we prepare what are the expected result, but then they are expressed in numerical terms. So, when I am saying that sales is to be increased by 10%, so I need to prepare budget saying what would be the cost involved in increase in sales by 10%. So, I'll express everything in numerical terms in that particular budget. This quantifies future facts and figures. So, whatever the cost you are going to incur, whatever the money you are going to spend, whatever you are going to achieve because of money, everything would be quantified in numeric terms. This is a control device, take care of deviation. So, this budget would help in ensuring that if there is any deviation, then corrective actions can be taken. So, we conclude here our session today. Thank you.